Without further ado, bear down.
Bear down. So I'm sorry. There's one constant. It's nag.
It was almost 4th and 21 at one point. Think about this shit. Like, not fucking rocket science.
Nick Foles looked like he was standing on top of a broom.
At least we have a fucking kicker.
We finally have a kicker.
After
It's like 3rd and 4, and he's throwing 3 yards on an out route. I'm fucking done.
how the fuck does a college quarterback just throw it away within a second of knowing I don't have shit?
Yeah.
And Foles is like,
for how
I'm
fucking
gonna
long.
fold.
He's
I
a
mean,
fucking
this
lawn
went-
chair.
You're not
He's literally a lawn chair. You just fucking fold. Immediately.
Big Foles.
Take that shot. Bear down.
Hey guys, welcome back to 4th and 21, a Chicago Bears talk show by Bears fans for Bears fans. I'm Arturo, this is Alex. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, like, and comment on our video to stay up to date. We're back. We both had us winning, but honestly, I had 31-21, and you had, what,
28-20.
21? Yeah, so, I mean,
So until we decide what's more important, whether you're closer to the actual point number or the point differential, until we make that decision, we're both taking a shot. So,
shit you don't take shots of.
no.
But that's what makes it fun, right?
If you guys didn't watch last time, this is Fernet, or probably Fernet Branca.
For nay. Last time I had food in my stomach, I might throw up.
So I don't know if you guys can see this, but it looks like soy sauce. Really fucking gross.
Jesus, it is full.
Ah, I can smell it already. It's like alcoholic. It's basically like drinking Listerine. So, to the Bears keeping us interested.
To running into more doorknobs.
Yep, exactly.
They're down.
Bear down. Fuck, I'm not excited about this. Oh, God. It is. All right. I took away all the excitement I had about the Bears winning. Oh, all right. 7-7, or 7-7. That was a really fucking big win. Without it, obviously, we probably would have had zero chance at going to the playoffs. With the way that the NFC is shaping up right now,
Oh, fuck.
if the Bears win, they're at least their next one. If they just beat the Jags, they'll have a pretty good chance of going to the playoffs.
I just felt like that scene in Hot Tub Time Machine when he's like, I'm going to throw up, I'm going to throw up. He's like, I'm good. But it's just like,
It does not go away.
ugh.
Shit lingers.
How long until we can drink something?
Until you actually talk a little bit. So yeah, like I was saying, Bears have a good chance with the way that the NFC is shaping out. Arizona Cardinals have a pretty difficult last 2 games. They did beat the Eagles barely, but they end with 2 divisional games against 49ers and against the Rams. So neither of those will be easy games unless the Rams are somehow solidified in their playoff spot. But if the Rams lose to Seattle this weekend, I believe that locks up the Packers win, obviously. But they are playing Tennessee. So no idea, honestly, who could win that game. Tennessee's defense isn't very good, which means the Packers will probably just run right through them. But Derrick Henry could also have a monster day against that Packer run defense. So I believe if the Packers beat Tennessee, geez, get over it, man. And Seattle beats LA, then the Packers will have a solidified spot in the number 1 seed, so they may not play their starters against the Bears week 17. So obviously a few things kind of have to go right for us, but that's just to make it easier. We can still obviously just win the next 2 games, but against the Packers, it's going to be a lot harder to do it against their first string than their backups. So, but I have no problem with us going against their first string. winning against their backups doesn't really feel like that much of a win anyway. So, yeah, that's kind of where the standings are. But that was a huge fucking win, dude. Fucking huge.
Yeah.
All right,
What was our main? Well, I was gonna bring up stopping
Dalvin
the
Cook.
running game, but we fucking shut Kirk Cousins down.
For the most part, Justin Jefferson still had a big game against us. Adam Thielen did not. Adam Thielen was pretty much useless.
Except for the wide open.
Except for the wide open touchdown that he got. But outside of that, he didn't do much of anything. So he got stuffed. And
None of that.
fuck. But just to go really quickly on who I had for Scat of the Week, I had Anthony Miller, who is by far not the person that I would give Scat to. It would be the defense as a whole. Again, they're just fucking up right now. And the thing is, if our defense played the way that it did earlier in the season and our offense plays like it has the last 3-4 games,
We'd be blowing teams out just like
we'd be
we did
blowing
against
teams
Houston.
out. We would be blowing teams out. And then my beast of the week was Montgomery, and I nailed that one. 32 carries, 140-something rushing yards. He was definitely the beast of the week, so I got no problem with that. Who did you have?
For Scat, I had Fuller.
He did not have a very good game.
He didn't, but same thing. The whole defense as a whole just kind of shit the bed. You know, they kept it in nice, clean turd, so it didn't like spread everywhere. Doesn't look as shitty, but
Yeah, because everyone
we had
spread it
we had
out.
to again rely on our offense coming back and producing, which they did. So
You know how like deer shit while they're walking?
like my dog also.
And and that's literally what it was like. Like it's just spread out everywhere, so it doesn't look like a giant pile of shit, but there's still shit everywhere. That was our defense.
I will
this
say
week.
Bilal Nichols, though, in his own right, had a
He had a good game.
good game on a continuation of having decently good games.
But I mean, Eddie Jackson had a bad game, except for the play at the very end of the game, which obviously a very important play, where on the Hail Mary he knocked it up so that was it McManus that got the interception? So I mean, he did. You can drink, by the way. But like the shit was just spread out everywhere. Fuller had a bad game. Was it Tolliver that replaced Jalen Johnson? He didn't have a good game. Roquan had a very bland game. Like he didn't make any big flash plays. Duke Shelley did pretty well.
Yeah,
I think
for coming
honestly,
in again as a rookie,
he should be the one that takes that spot over for the rest of the year.
And the commentators were saying he's in for Jalen Johnson. It's like, are you stupid?
No, he's in for Buster Screen.
No, you're shit.
And okay, yeah. So actually, my scat of the week goes to, and mind you, we could have lost 40-0, and the worst thing about that game still would have been Greg Jennings being a commentator. That guy is so fucking obnoxious to listen to, and I get that he's an ex-Packers, but like he didn't necessarily say shitty things about the Bears. He's just terrible at like being a commentator. It's awful to listen to him. Like there's Tony Romo, who came out and became a commentator and crushed it. The exact opposite of that is Greg Jennings. My ears were bleeding by the end of the first half. I almost muted the fucking game. It was so brutal. It was so fucking brutal. So he gets scat of the week in my book. I mean, I know he's not anything to do with the Bears, but still fucking awful. Who was your
Cole Kmet?
Cole Kmet? He had a good game. I mean, nothing flashy.
No.
I'd say Darnell Mooney definitely had a better game than him as a rookie
Yeah.
on the offense.
I mean, I'm kind of inclined. Yeah, no. I mean,
Stop with the dead air, man.
there's just actually things to consider now with the offensive players being possibilities. But, you know, I think Darnell did have a great fucking game. And, you know, Trubisky fed all of them too. So
Yeah, he really spread the ball around. But he also didn't throw it that many times.
No. I was going to say his pitching the ball and fucking running when he had to. He's so good at that. Montgomery gets it with a full head of steam and just fucking takes off with 10 yards before they even realize he's running.
Well, I'm glad they actually started drawing up some run plays specifically for Trubisky. I hate that they drew it up on 3rd and 4. That was a horrible fucking call. I was so shocked by that fucking call. I was like, why won't you just do a bootleg on that one and make him decide, or let him decide if he wants to throw it to somebody 5 yards past the marker or then run it. But don't make it a fucking quarterback run on 3rd and 4 to the right of the defense where Fetty is. I'm sorry, that was a horrible fucking play call. But I do like that, one, they drew up specific running plays for him, and then two, when he almost ran it into the end zone, when he just saw that like everybody was covered in the end zone, and he just like ran for 10 yards, got it down to the 1 yard line, easy handoff to Montgomery, let him finish it off. And then he was like strong on that run.
Probably
as well.
have to go with Montgomery too.
There's no way Montgomery wasn't the
beast
player
mode.
of the game.
Beast mode. And after like not playing Minnesota the first time,
He made a big difference. He made it up like for not being able to be there the first time. God, our offense is just – it's wild that our offense is carrying our team right now. If you would have told me that 5 weeks ago, I would have laughed in your face and told you that you're a fucking idiot, because there's no way that our offense is carrying this defense right now.
It only took like 13, 14 weeks. But
well, they put Trubisky back in, and every week they're starting to do something different, and it's working. They're moving him out of the pocket. This week, this is the first time that Montgomery's gotten like more than 30 fucking touches in a game. Like, they're not just being like, okay, this is what we're going to do every single week. They're changing it up every single week. And that's really fucking nice to see, because they're actually adapting and also coming out of the gate hot. Like, yes, we didn't score any points on the first drive, but then like, what was it? I think we didn't punt the ball once after that drive. We either scored points or, unfortunately, Trubisky did throw that interception in the end zone, which was absolutely brutal. In terms of a grade that I would give our offense overall, A.
yeah,
I can't say anything like the only way without the interception, A+. The interception could have been very costly because it was 30-27 at that point, and that's not when you want to be throwing an interception in the end zone. That was brutal.
way too close.
You
can't be throwing that shit.
A+, A for our offense. You agree with that?
Yeah. Fucking weird to say, because week in and week out, it was a defense that was just like, hey.
Yeah. Didn't even really have to talk about it. So we're like, oh, so it's assumed that they have an A, right? Okay, so I just fucking poured vodka into my fucking shot glass. And with the soy sauce, and it's that fucking color. It literally looks like fucking dehydrated piss. So that's really not appetizing at all. But at least it won't be the fucking full thing. So, yeah, fuck it, dude. It's just so wild to sit here and actually just be pumped about the offense. And after losing 6 in a row, 2 weeks after that, we're talking about playoffs still.
Talking about playoffs?
And we talking about playoffs?
It's a
we're talking about practice?
It's a wild fucking turn of events.
And then we've got the Jags next week, which we should not by any means think are going to roll over. But they just moved into the number 1 fucking spot for the Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 pick in the draft. So I don't see them going out here and fucking ruining that. But at the same time, you can't be like the Rams, who expected the Jets to just fucking roll over and lost to them and gave them their first fucking win of the season. So I definitely don't want us to overlook them and start looking 2 weeks ahead. But I would be shocked if the Jags somehow fucked themselves like this. So,
bear down.
Bear down. Yeah, you can definitely still taste it there. Oh, that's not good. Defensively, absolute garbage. Pretty much the only big play this week was the interception at the very end of the game on the Hail Mary. And oh god, that was bad.
I don't know.
And
Bilal
then
and
the
Khalil's
other-
sack.
Yeah, they had a sack, but like we got to get more turnovers. And the one thing I will say is Robert Quinn made one play this game. They actually mentioned his name. I was shocked that he smacked the shit out of fucking the ball out of Kirk Cousins' hands. That was awesome. And that was on a third down as well. Okay, that's not true. The Bears did make some good plays because early on it was 4th and 1, and they ran it with Dalvin Cook.
And stopped it.
And they stopped him in his fucking tracks. And so that gave us I don't know. I can't remember if that led to a field goal or a touchdown, but it led to points. And then later, towards the end of the game, they went for it on 4th and 1 again, and we brought a blitz. Thank you, Pagano, for finally bringing a blitz. And Kirk Cousins rolled out and threw it away. So those were 2 big plays as well. But, dude, teams are just walking through our fucking defense right now. Walking through our defense.
I'm tentative between a few good plays isn't. That's like getting a few good answers on a test. Doesn't mean you get a fucking good overall grade.
Yeah.
So I'm going with like a C+.
I was gonna say C.
Not close enough
Because you're allowing
to
27
have a B, but
You're allowing 27 fucking points, number one. Number two, you allowed the one threat on their team to just absolutely work you, which was Dalvin Cook. Like, we knew that we were going to have to stop Dalvin Cook and make Kirk Cousins beat us. But we didn't stop Dalvin at all, except for on 4th and 1. That was, again, an awesome fucking play. But other than that, it was really bad defense. It's like a deer fucking walking shitting. It didn't look like a giant pile of shit, but there was shit all over the field that this week. It was Eddie Jackson. Deshaun Gibson didn't have a good Deshaun Gibson didn't have a good week. Dude, Trevathan, the fact that we have him for another 2 years on contract, I don't know what the fuck we're supposed to do with that. I'd honestly rather cut him and lose the dead money because there's no point in fucking having him out there.
No.
And the fact that we could have had Kwiatkowski this year instead of him is so obnoxious because he would be flying all over the field. He's doing it for Oakland. Tolliver had a bad game. Fuller didn't have a good game. Robert Quinn had one play, which is better than he normally does, so I'll give him that. And then Khalil Mack had a very average week as well. You know, like half a sack doesn't –
Akeem, nothing except a fucking penalty.
That fucking penalty was so dumb and costly. Why? Akeem doesn't normally make these mistakes. I don't understand what's happening with him this year because he's getting penalized, like, I feel like more than anyone on our defense besides – no, he's pretty much the one getting – maybe Buster Skrine has more penalties, but other than that, our offensive line used to have a lot. Oh, yeah, really quickly, we did pass up on offense. Our offensive line is getting a lot fucking better.
Yeah.
A lot fucking better. So a lot of credit to the big guys doing the heavy lifting. They are fucking crushing it recently. You know, they're not like – I wouldn't give them an A, but I think, the Vikings had one sack this week.
Yeah, they were giving him enough time to roll out or make the quick pass or –
And the thing is, if we do get to the playoffs, our offense will have been clicking for a while, and our offensive line, that's another week that they have together and to get better together because Mustafer's a rookie. Every game that he plays, every week that he practices with everybody in the same spot and they stay healthy, that's going to help so much. And they're giving Trubisky time. When they don't, he's actually mobile enough to get out. Sorry, I went back onto the offense. We should stick with the defense, I guess. But yeah, Pagano, you need to blitz. And blitz Roquan especially because almost every time I see him blitzing, he is getting around the defenders, and if the running back does end up picking him up, he's plowing through them and getting to the quarterback. So
stop playing zone.
And that was my second point. That was my second point.
I don't know why that scared me so bad. It's like, fuck. It's it's just atrocious. Like they're running routes down the middle, and our guys seem stuck between. Oh, should I go? Oh, well, I can't because I'm stuck here. But then the guy over there doesn't pick him up, so then they're all just kind of running around with like chickens with their heads cut off. And meanwhile, they're getting the ball, and then Eddie Jackson's back there scared to tackle, so they get an easy 15, 20 yards every fucking time.
Eddie Jackson, dude, what is happened to him? It's like if he's not making big plays.
And everybody all
he's
over
just
social
making-
media comments like, why is Jackson so scared to hit people? And I'm like,
I have no understanding what happened to him where, like, all of a sudden this year he doesn't want to tackle anybody.
so he had a bad acid trip and just, I don't know. It's, there's nothing to do but wait and hope that he fucking gets his head out of his ass. Because,
He just looks soft back there, honestly.
and then in interviews, he's all like bark, and it's like, bro,
He's like, we
you
need
have
to
no
hold each
bite.
other
You have
accountable.
no bite. Well, hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, it's like, well,
'cause
yeah, seriously.
half those plays are on you, not making fucking contact. At least grab him so that your other teammate who has the balls to come in and hit him actually brings him down. But
Seriously.
he's just like,
And that was one of the big plays that Tolliver made, is that Kirk Cousins ran for it on like 3rd and 10, and he had the hit on Kirk Cousins to prevent him from getting to the first down marker,
yeah.
and that's what gave him 4th and half a yard, and he hit him hard too, and then because they almost threw the flag for helmet to helmet, and it was
But that
a
was shoulder.
great clean shoulder hit, and then that was when we stopped Delvin. So like that, hitting somebody and hitting them hard and coming up and making a big tackle can actually be. It can make that big of a fucking difference in the game. That changed. If they would have gotten that first down, who knows how that changes the game. Instead, we hold them on 4th down, we get the ball, we get points. So
Yeah.
Eddie Jackson, stop being afraid to fucking hit somebody. Need to do that. And Pagano, if you're going to use zone, because obviously zone works in the NFL at times, do it against quarterbacks that aren't smart enough to wait for their wide receivers to sit in the between two fucking defenders. Because also, like, if you look at the offensive weapons that Kirk Cousins has, is Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. They're two of the best wide receivers in the league. You don't think they recognize a zone defense when they see one? They know exactly when the ball is going to be thrown to them because they know, okay, there's a defender here. The next zone is there. He's going to hit me here. And if not, I'm just going to sit here in the open spot in the defense. So, like, at least do it against quarterbacks that maybe aren't the best at, like, or people or teams that don't have great wide receivers. But you're playing, like, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, like Matthew Stafford is like, he's a smart enough quarterback to fucking know that zone defense, as soon as it fucking happens, he is going to hit his guy right in the pocket. And so it's like, maybe next week you want to use it against the Jags. Sure, that'll be fine. But there's not really much to worry about with the Jags. So I'm not too worried about what you do defensively, because if you allow 20 points to the Jags, I'm going to have a lot of shit to talk about next week.
And I'm sure we'll get there. Ugh. Fucking 7-7.
7-7. And the thing is, that game against Detroit now is coming up. It's so big, but at the same time, I feel like that's what kicked everyone into gear. Like, without that, like, maybe if we pull that win out, maybe we don't play this well the next 2 games. So maybe that's just what we needed. And if we go into the playoffs 9-7, and we somehow make the playoffs and we win all 4 games, we're actually on a hot streak. And those are the teams that are dangerous in the playoffs, even if you are just a wild card. If you're a wild card that's coming in hot, and the thing is, in the NFC, there are very, like, okay, New Orleans, one of the best teams in the NFC, right? We lost to them in overtime.
Yeah.
Buccaneers, good team in the NFC. We beat them. Like, the better teams in the NFC, I actually am not too afraid of. Like the LA Rams, we just
played down to the level of whatever team we play.
But like,
or up.
Yeah, like that's the thing. There are teams that if we do make it to the playoffs, I could see us beating. So if we can just make it to the playoffs, if we have a 4-game win streak going into the playoffs, I could see us being a dangerous, like, wild card team that's going to be super underrated, that no one's going to be afraid of, and we could shock some people, I think. So,
yeah,
offense just needs to keep it up. Defense, find your rhythm again. Like, I don't know if this is Pagano. I don't know if it's the players. I don't know if it's a combination. Because right now it looks like a combination. It looks like Pagano not blitzing enough, playing zone defense and our players like Eddie Jackson being afraid to fucking tackle and Robert Quinn not holding up to his end of the fucking contract that we signed him to. If those two fucking – and we need Jalen Johnson back. Like, I got to make that very clear. Jalen Johnson – and that's the thing. Maybe rest him this week if he's still a little sore.
Yeah, against the Jags, but we need him against
Rest him against
Green
the
Bay.
Jags, but against Green Bay, you definitely need
back
him
there.
back. Without him, we're going to be fucked because Devontae is just going to ruin Tolliver. It is Tolliver, right?
William? Is it William?
No, that doesn't sound right.
I think it was someone else.
Well, keep it up. Talk about stuff. I'll look it up.
Are we going to give special teams a
grade?
grade?
Yes. I will definitely give special teams grade. What you got?
I mean, obviously Cordero started it off again with his runs. I think I'll give him a B.
It's Vildor. Kindle Vildor. My bad. I knew it. It's Tolliver is.
I'll give him a
He at
B
least was on the team.
because
It was the V, dude. It was the V that threw me off.
there wasn't anything too big this week, but I'm impressed by the blocking now. Actually, Cordero's ability to not just do his Cordero thing where he's just going to think he's going to plow through everyone. Little bit of hesitation and then just getting us those extra yardage, the blocking. We're not sitting back at the 10 or 15 every time. Obviously, what's his name? How do I not think of this right now? Pat O'Donnell.
Always solid.
I think we were talking about it either before the game or during the game that he's been consistent since we've had him, and with Cordero there, yeah, it was this game because I was like, how the fuck is Cordero there?
Well, and Cordero just made the Pro Bowl, so
yeah, and
congrats
Khalil.
to him.
I don't know how
he
Roquan
decided it.
didn't,
Roquan definitely deserved to be there,
but
he's
yeah,
so underrated.
Props to Cordero and Khalil for.
Khalil honestly hasn't had a good year. It's just his fucking
It's just his name, yeah. But
Roquan deserves it more than Khalil
whatever,
this
for
year.
a fucking vet, Cordero back in there.
Cordero definitely deserved it.
It's dope. But yeah, I'll give him a B.
B. I'm giving them an A.
Okay.
There's very little they could have done extra. How many fucking field goals has Santos made in a row now? I think it's 20 or 21 in a row that field goals.
He had 17 2 games ago. So
I think he hit his
probably
19th in his first field goal of the game. He hit his 19th, so I think he hit 2 more.
it's probably 21.
Or wait, how many touchdowns did we get?
1, 2,
It was 20 to.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think we hit 3.
Yeah.
Or did we hit?
And then he got 2.
No, maybe he got 4. Because 21 plus 12 would be 33.
Yeah.
So he might have hit 4 field goals in this game. Because it was 20 to.
And he's got that weird fucking
10
thing
and a
that
half.
you brought it up, and I've noticed that every time. But now I'm comfortable with it. Is it goes like this, and then it comes back a little, and it's just got that weird.
That right off the foot, it looks like it's
weird
gonna.
soccer
It
curve.
just looks like it's gonna be off,
Yeah.
and then just kind of takes a quick curve back, and it's God. He has money, and he needs to He's incredible for this year.
him
I don't
with
actually get worried now for.
Him and Pat, we're set.
And we've got Cordero returning, and Anthony Miller's a solid punt returner. So I'm really happy with our special teams. If our defense can just fucking pick it up, dude, we could have walked all over Minnesota, who I do think has a good offense.
Yeah.
They're not like a shitty offense that we should have, or that a lot of
We should have
teams
shut down.
down.
Yeah, no.
But
It was definitely
the
scary,
thing
but
is, we needed to stop Dalvin a little bit more, put it in
pressure on Cousins,
and
make
put it
him
in Cousins' hands, and then get pressure on him. And with doing that, we would have been fine.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that the Bears came out with the win. We still have meaningful games late in December, and that's fun. That's fun. That's all I ever want is to at least have a chance. And right now we have a pretty good chance. Not just a chance. We have a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
It'll all depend on, after this week, we'll have a lot to talk about because it'll be going into the last week. We'll know exactly what we need. We'll know exactly if the Packers have first place, if the Rams, or if the Cardinals lose, we could have potentially a playoff spot next week if the Cardinals lose and we beat the Jags. So we'll have a lot more to talk about in terms of playoff scenarios.
Would have been sweet had they lost.
But other than that,
That's all we got.
It's all we've got, but the Bears are keeping us in it. Bear down.